We're going for a walk. Yes, we are.
You go.
Off we go. It's a bit windy, so there's a lot of noise. We are in our local park right now, and there's a bunch of construction going on. They're doing it up for the Olympics 2012. And, it's really sunny. We just missed a bit of a surprise rainstorm that passed after about 5 minutes. And now it's really sunny and crisp and beautiful.
Speaking of which...
Hello. Oh.
When I said speaking of which, I meant beautiful, not crisp. This sky is not crisp.
But yeah, I'm glad the weather has improved, and I say improved, and this is completely my opinion, but we were hit with a bit of a freak heat wave in London this week, and I'm not a fan of hot weather. So yeah, it's starting to feel like autumn now, and I'm really happy about that. And yeah, Ronan is 5 weeks old now. What is he today? 5 weeks and
2 days.
2 days, yeah. And I thought I would make this this video during his 5th week in the park, because the 5th week entry I made during my pregnancy for 5 weeks pregnant was also in the park.
It's very nicely linked together.
So yeah, we'll walk a bit and then find a nice place to sit down and resume the vlog. I love this. There's a sign on this tree that says Nature Trail, and it points directly to the main road. This is a rowan tree. You can see the red berries. This is the park where I usually come jogging, which I'm hoping to be able to do again soon, since my 6-week check with the GP is booked for next week, and I'm hoping to get the all clear. So I can start properly exercising again. I started Weight Watchers today. I've not weighed myself, but I'll do that for next week so we can have a starting weight. And yeah. He fell asleep. Finally.
It doesn't take much for this guy when you're on a walk with him. The motion seems to soothe him sufficiently to put him at rest.
How's this past week been for you, Phil?
It's challenging because I've started school, of course, and classes are really starting in earnest at this point. One has to try and juggle that with home, not just with looking after Ronan, but also looking after the wife, because one must also keep the relationship stoked and keep it going. It's like a fire. If you don't put enough wood on it, it'll go out, and then you've really lost that which is of perhaps most value to you of all things. That should be my wife. So.
No.
One has to try and juggle all 3 of these, so that's what I'm attempting to try and figure out, is how I can most optimize the balance between the 3. As for my own alone time, that's an irrelevance now at this point. My considerations and concerns are always tied up with
Well, you get
those
it when
3.
you work.
When I work, yes. In a way, the work is leisure, because I enjoy the work that I'm doing. It's very rewarding, very insightful.
And in the early morning when you take him.
Well,
You get time alone.
sometimes that's been an occasional, but usually I'm having to look after him so much. My intention is entirely focused on him, that no work is done in the morning. Because the moment you leave him, he starts scrabbling, and he requires some other form of care, whether it's soothing to sleep, or feeding, or diaper changing. It seems as if the needs of a baby are very basic, but they're so persistent and especially when a baby's cry is so persistent and shrill as this one is, it plays on your attention to such a degree that everything else becomes secondary, at least in the short term. And then a few hours pass and you realise this. So you're going to share some thoughts with us about his overtiredness.
Yeah. I hope everyone can hear me. It's kind of loud with the street and the wind. So sorry if you turn your volume up. I'll try to project more. Yeah, I guess the main thing for this week has been his sleep seems to be getting worse, which is not good because he hasn't ever been a good sleeper. But now he's so difficult to put down for a nap that he gets overtired pretty much without fail, and then once he's overtired he's crying inconsolably, and it can take over an hour to get him to go to sleep. And I recognize his tired cues pretty well, like if he's rubbing his eyes or tugging his ear or yawning, things like that. And so once I see his first signs of getting tired, I'll try to put him down, but he doesn't want to go to sleep, so eventually he ends up overtired when I'm still trying to settle him. And it can get so bad that even putting him to the breast doesn't work, and sometimes he's so frantic and crazy from being overtired that he won't even latch on. So Phil and I have been trying to get a good bedtime routine in place, which I think has been going pretty well for the most part. Every other day we give him a bath. We've been doing that about 6:30, and then giving him a bottle after that, and then, you know, being in a dark room and quiet and trying to rock him to sleep. And I think about, 50% of the time it works, which is pretty good for a 1-month-old baby. Because usually babies don't start getting into a routine until about 8 weeks, so I think we're doing pretty well. I just hope it gets better as he gets older, because this new overtiredness thing is not fun. Makes it so I spend the majority of my time trying to keep him calm day and night, and it shouldn't be that way. I think the worst was there was one day when he was awake for about 8 hours, and he hardly slept that night, because with babies, sleep promotes sleep, and the better they sleep during the day, the better they sleep at night. But he's been sleeping pretty well today. I think he had a nap for like 2 hours. Yeah, so he should sleep well tonight. Last night Phil and I tried a new approach to dealing with night feedings, and I think it went well. I feel pretty rested today, more so than usual. I think you probably feel about the same, because you usually get more sleep than I do. But last night we tried shifts for the first time, where basically for a 5-hour period one of us takes care of him, and for the next 5-hour period the other one does the same. And it's good, because it doesn't mean that you can't sleep when it's your shift. It's just if he wakes up, you have to deal with it. But it means that each of us gets at least a 5-hour chunk of solid sleep. And I think it was the first that's happened to me now since I had him. So, yeah, I wouldn't say I feel like $1 million, but I feel better than I have, considering that I usually get only about 2 or 3 hours of broken sleep a night. Last night I got, I don't think it was solid, because I did wake up at a certain point, but I fell back asleep right away. So yeah, I think we should continue doing that. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll see how it goes tonight, and if it continues to be effective and providing us with an equal balance, an equal share of sleep, as well as of responsibility, and keeping him rested, then absolutely. I see no reason why we shouldn't continue as we have been doing since last night.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Quick glimpse of the young gentleman.
So I'll stand up and let you guys see what I look like 5 weeks postpartum. It's chilly, so I'm kind of bundled up, but in front, side, the other side. Again, I feel about the same from the past couple weeks because I haven't really been doing anything to try to lose any weight, and I haven't been able to really exercise yet because I'm not 6 weeks. But like I said, I started Weight Watchers today, so hopefully there'll be a difference next week. And yeah, that's it. Anything else to add, Phil?
No, nothing more to add.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
There's a crow. This is a view from the side of our house. You can't actually see our house, but it's over the side of our back garden. And we have an amazing view of London down there. You can see that pointy building to the right is the Shard that they're building. And at nighttime you can see the London Eye lit up, and you can see St. Paul's and the Thames and Parliament. It's hard to tell right now, and my flip has a crappy zoom, but yeah, that's our view.